10:01, let's rock and roll. Welcome to the Hammerdown Roadshow, where we're going to put the pedal to the metal and talk trends, tech, and tunes. My name is Jay Mervis, Healthcare Sales Director at Fortinet. Welcome to the 7th installment of our podcast series. I'm here today with Cory Worf.
How you doing?
Good, Cory. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Owner of CrossFit Weddington and head coach here. Cory, why don't you give us a little background and bio of, about yourself?
I should have been smarter. No, I've been an athlete my whole life, and then you reach a point as an athlete, which I did, some people don't, that I decided that I was going to be better as a trainer and coach than I was going to be an athlete. So in my 20s, I decided to was in college, went to massage school, got a job working with the pro cycling team, which was the goal of going to massage school. Lived here and in Europe for the next 10-ish years. And then I went from cycling to working in training pro motocross athletes. Ended up back here there was a family death. And then I started doing CrossFit in 2005 in my garage. Started doing a gym in 2006. Opened a gym with a partner in 2009. And then opened this one in 2011. And I still continue to train pro motocross athletes.
Awesome. So today, normally we focus a lot on tech, but today we're going to make the trend fitness. So in the fitness trend, there's a lot of different things, but it does tie back into cybersecurity maturity and that journey. The fitness journey is what I've been on for most of my life. I think, Cory, one of the funnier things we should talk about is how we met. Randomly, I moved down here 9 years ago this week. You were one of the first 10 people I met in Charlotte that I didn't work with or know before I moved down here. And then we became friends randomly crossing paths. But one of the things that happened is, how did I get into CrossFit Weddington? And a mutual friend of ours, Norm Hampton, we were all grabbing coffee one morning, and you actually dared me. You said,
Show up on Saturday.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to show up. I said, well, I'm a good athlete. How hard could this be? And you have your advanced class at 8 a.m., and I see everybody doing all these advanced crazy moves. And I was like, I'm waiting on deck at 9 o'clock, and I'm like, what did I get myself into? And
it worked out.
And you shamed me into coming in. I'm like, I'm a good athlete. I don't need to do this. And you're like, no, you should come in. And then you did also pull a Jedi mind trick and say, hey, by the way, you need to come back Monday. Just drink water all weekend. I remember sitting on my back patio for 2 days, drinking water. And my kids actually had to go out and buy a foam roller because I was so sore. You're like, just come back Monday to stretch. And then I've been here closing out year 5. So exciting things. So appreciate you and what you do for the community. Let's talk about the trend. I said before we're going to talk fitness today because it is one of the only thing everybody can individually contribute into the care continuum, and that's the only thing that you own from the whole care delivery system, insurance and whatnot. Our research at Fortinet, physical activity 3 times a week reduces risk of heart disease, diabetes, depression, and weight gain. There's less reliance on prescription drugs, which I'm a big fan of.
100%.
A big fan of. I don't want to take anything besides Advil after leaving this place, but in my allergy pill. But a lot of people
always skip the Advil and maybe do more fish oil.
Well, could be. I'll take guidance anywhere.
Yeah.
Become more coachable as I get older, which is strange. But one of the other things is the insurers. There's a wellness benefit for most employers to where they'll either.
I sign those all the time.
Well, I wish we had one. So take that to the bank, Jim Overback. But the wellness benefit, $1 in prevention is worth $10 in cares.
100%.
So all the insurers are trying to figure this. They're doing all these big data projects and whatnot. So Cory, what are you in the firm seeing with engagement from the fitness community? You said you have people come in to submit all the time. What are you seeing from like a demographics? Young, old.
In that aspect, it's pretty much across the board in terms of young or old. We get like a lot of Microsoft. They give, I think, they pay back something like $1,800 a year that they get in fitness. So people go out and buy bikes. People come in and do their gym membership. But I sign probably twice a month. I'm signing something for somebody for their health insurance.
Which is awesome, and you got a great constituency here, and there's a lot of consistent people.
I mean, it saves them money. If they're willing to just not even just physically, but mentally, if they can get, because especially now that people work from home more, if they can step away from that 1 hour a day, which is what this is, it's where they get to, get away from work, get away. Health is a big benefit of it, but the mental part is a huge part of it as well, because they go back and they're more focused when they get back from maybe coming to the gym for an hour.
Well, the mental health thing that you talk about, you coach professional, people growing up in the motocross business. I know you have a variety of different track athletes and sophisticated high-level athletes, but the mental health component has been front and center, huge. I know when I don't work out and we have to go present in a public forum, I am totally disjointed, so I make sure that when we're going to go present at a national show or whatever, I do go and work out. But the pandemic, you were delivering classes via Zoom because you were very concerned about your constituents. Like, hey, guys, we're gonna get on Zoom 2-3 times a day, record it, do the workouts, loaning out equipment. We've seen a ton of that, but that was the first time in history, the pandemic, where everybody didn't have a commute, so they had to reevaluate what they were going to do with their fitness level and health.
Yeah, they didn't have an excuse that they were too busy.
Didn't have an excuse. You had 2 hours a day back.
Yeah.
And you could focus your time on being somewhere at some point in time. So yeah, it was huge.
And that was one of the things that grew during the pandemic. A lot of stuff kind of fell off. We lost some people because of it, but I think that we got different people that wouldn't have gotten into fitness because they were too busy.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of reevaluation.
Well, they thought they were too busy.
Right, but then habit, right?
100%.
No overnight success. So, that habit gets created and then turns into something super positive, and then you can't live without it. So you do a lot of positive encouragement around here, and you have some great coaches when you're not here that do the same thing.
Yeah, so they're probably a little more positive than I am. I'm just old and scorned at this point.
Oh, stop it. You have your methodology and your ways, and people respond to it. So.
Sarcasm works better than something sometimes.
Hey, twist whatever dials need to be twisted.
Exactly.
Anything else from a fitness trend perspective that you're seeing in your world here? CrossFit has grown from being this like cult garage thing. You talk about starting in your garage to this massive organization, CrossFit Games.
Yeah.
They're selling jerseys now. I mean,
CrossFit started a long time ago, but it's kind of grown into this thing. And the internet made it take off in the early 2000s, but it's kind of leveled off. And I think there's a lot of people trying to copy it now. The good thing about what we do is that we create a community. It's more about the community here than it is about 4 walls and a bunch of weights. It's about people helping you, being there to coach you, as opposed to like even some of the boot camps and other things as well. People kind of get in there and it's like go go go. So you don't always want a cheerleader. Sometimes you want the truth. Somebody, hey, you need to do this and do that. And I think that's more of what we offer than just cheerleading or 4 walls sometimes. So.
Well, yeah, you've got communities within the communities, right? I work out at 6 a.m. We've got the silver medalists. Shout out to the crew on the 6 a.m. workout. Everybody at 6 a.m. that's the regulars. But yeah, there's a lot of accountability. You don't see the group chat, the group text of, that workout's gonna suck tomorrow. But somebody says just show up.
Yeah, 100%.
So one of the other statistics that we pulled out because we love
I should have to run a mile around the building if I ever say 100% again.
That's better than some people that ask us. They say, "Great question," 3 or 4 or 5 times. Shout out to Troy Amon, our field CISO, because we chuckle when that gets asked. But we love pulling statistics 100%. And Cleveland Clinic, very reputable organization, says if you don't work out 3 times a week, that you might as well smoke. That's how bad it is for your physical well-being. And I would like to live to be maybe 80, 90 years old. So that's why trying to catch up sucks. So let's turn over to the tech. I don't know how much tech you use here besides Wodify and tracking things, but one of the things that I think is important is, Cory, what advice do you give anybody on the fitness journey? CrossFit isn't for everybody. What advice do you give for anybody?
Move. Do something. Don't be sedentary. Don't sit on the couch. I mean, that's the biggest thing, and you see it as you get older. Like the more and more you're sedentary, the worse off you're going to be. Mobility is huge, and how you feel and how you perceive yourself on a daily basis. If you can't move well, then you're not going to feel well. So just move. In terms of tech, there's plenty of tech things. There's a bunch of which is coming up where you want to talk about different trends and stuff like Pelotons and stuff like that. There's a bunch of different things going on. I think someone like me may be obsolete in 20 years because the people that look at their phones all the time now are going to be 100% okay just looking at their phone and oh, I saw this on TikTok. Well, you don't know why you're doing that or how you're doing that. And that's what somebody like me offers, is the ability to explain why you should or shouldn't do something, and then what the benefit of something or how something may or may not be good for you. So.
Right, and you love programming, squatting at least 3 times a week, so in some way, shape, or form. But
yeah.
you know, that's kind of the value of what you bring, is that you program so that there's success.
We learn how to squat, so maybe one day when we have to get up off the floor, we won't have to push up button and ask someone to come get me.
Yeah, totally,
So.
right? So yeah, you know, one of the things that we talk about with technology, the fitness journey, because everybody starts somewhere, right? You talk about move, and then it turns into something else. People do marathons, triathlons, you know, they're regulars at CrossFit, whatever. Cybersecurity, the same thing we have in a maturity is a journey. So what we talk about is start, setting goals. You know, you joke with me, you know, talking about how we met, but about 6 weeks in, I'm like, hey, you know, you're like, what's your goal? I want to lose 20 pounds. So I lost 20 pounds. You're like, what, you gonna quit now? I'm like, well, no.
Well, you already started. Like the sign says out front, it's the start that stops most people. And that's with everything across the board. The hardest part of 99% of the things in the world is actually not making the decision to do it, but taking that first step.
Right, because you know, and something like this, I had planned in my head for
Yeah.
2+ years because the pandemic, everybody's at home. I'm like, well, how do I reach out to the market? Well, now I've been doing it for 3 months, and I got people, you know, message me, hey, hammer down, blah blah blah. You know, structure. You know, you talk about your value is creating structure. You know, the community creates structure. Adapt and improve. That's you know, that's why we don't work out the same thing all the time. It's adapt and improve. You got cycles, and you know, like, oh boy, we're going to be in a 4-day-a-week squat cycle, but we're not, but that's okay. And that's where the connection is between fitness and cybersecurity. Most of our customers are going through a journey to try to get certified in either NIST or high trust, or just get better at cybersecurity with cyber hygiene and educating their constituents and people. So call to action, you know, I'm coming up on, you know, my 5 years, and, you know, I didn't wait till January 1. You know, what's your call to action?
In terms of...
Do we start today?
No, you should always start today.
Yeah.
There's no time like the present, you know. Don't wait. The longer you wait, the easier it is to do something else, you know, or not do something.
Right.
You know,
And then
it's like three frogs sitting on a log. One decided to jump off. How many frogs are on the log?
2.
3. He just decided he didn't do it.
Oh. You might be the best guest yet, Cory. Anyway, call to action. Let's start the journey now. Let's move on to tunes, the best part of the show. You're the guest, Cory. I asked you for a band. I expected something different. You came up with Clutch. I'm going to give you the background on Clutch, and then I'm going to ask you the question.
Oh, don't ask me questions.
I'm going to ask easy questions. I got layups. Clutch, founded in 1991, Germantown, Maryland. You know, this was a challenge for me, just like class. You know, I didn't know anything about Clutch. I told you I listened to their whole catalog because I'm like, these guys are actually pretty awesome. 7 of their top 10 7 of their albums have been top 10 releases. They've been featured in Walking Dead, Ace of Cakes, Sons of Anarchy. What is your affinity, and why did you pick Clutch?
They're the band that I've seen the most. I've probably seen them 20 times.
Wow.
Over the last 27, 8 years, 28. I think the first time I saw them, so what is it? Maybe 29 years. I saw them with a friend. I had just moved to Boulder, Colorado after college, and that's where I was working. And I had some friends we had mutual friends, and they ended up having mutual friends there. They were going to see a show. We saw them, and then we ended up seeing them every time they came through. And then over the years, I've found them wherever they were and gone to see them. It's a good show.
Well, maybe I'll go with you next time, because I did listen to all their stuff, and when I listened to it, it's like that's totally a band Cory would listen to. So I always like to tie the tunes back into the fitness journey or the technology that we're talking about. What is the first song that comes to your mind when you think of Clutch, fitness? Because I've got my list, and I'm hoping that I hit them.
Pure Rock Fury or Elephant Riders are 2 of the ones that I listen to when I work out. Yeah. Elephant
Riders, that was one of my favorite ones. From a song name, I took "We Strive for Excellence," and then I thought about "The Regulator."
Yeah, The Regulator's good too. My sons play The Regulator a lot, so
I'm not surprised.
I've taken them to see Clutch twice. So.
And they're fans?
Yeah.
Awesome. Great covers.
Yeah.
I listened to Unfortunate Son. They rocked that.
Yeah, 100%. That's good. I said 100% again. I'll be back in
100%. So your statistics were always 100%. That's good. Any other tunes you want to throw out there, Cory, to tie into fitness?
No, not from them, but I listen to them a lot. So
Cool. Well, like I said, you challenge every morning. Challenge me on this one on the podcast. Hopefully, we'll drive some people to understand the journey. You know, that's what the joy of it is. It's not the end result. We do like a great end result, but it's the journey. So, appreciate everybody tuning into the Hammerdown Roadshow. You know, the next event will be Fortinet's channel team. I have Dylan Cooper and Matt Larkin on in 2 weeks. Cory Worf, CrossFit Weddington on Instagram. You know where I am. I'm on LinkedIn. If you like this, share it. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Hit the gym. Do a walk. Unplugged.
move.
Thanks. Have a great weekend.